ready?
SunDAVE, sit down.
Yeah, it's time for SunDAVE Sit Down.
SunDAVE, sit down.
That just ends way too abruptly. Good evening, everybody. It's Sunday. That means it's SunDAVE Sit Down. Oh, yeah. Hi, everybody. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Truly, I hope you did. Tell me about it. And it is SunDAVE Sit Down once again. We are 6 days away from Davenger Con. That's right. There it is. The new shirt came in. It's looking a lot nicer than the first shirt. It's a lot more brighter. Let's get that all in there. It just says Davenger Con. Oh, there. No. Yeah. All right. Anyway. Whatever. We'll look at the shirts. Don't worry. Tyler Davis in the house. My two wrenches are here. The wrench master, the wrench kings, and then the wrench master's not here. Tyler, I hope you had a fantastic weekend too. John, same to you. I hope this weekend treated you well, and thank you. I know. Jerome, what's going on? And Doomcard in the house. All right, Jerome, Doomcard, John, Tyler. Hi. It's once again. It's SunDAVE. Sit down. All right. So I am in not crunch time yet. I'm not in crunch time yet, but I have so many things to share about Davenger Con. We're all set to go. Everybody's confirmed. There might be no show. Justin from Spidey Hits doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it. He's got some family obligations, but he might. So I love you, Brady. I love you. You love me. Your name is Brady. Yeah. Johnny, what's going on? Johnny's in the house on YR 924. By the way, is the microphone working? Well, I'm glad that you're free on Sunday. I didn't realize you were free on Sunday night. I'm glad. Yeah, Saturday's going to be great. Scott Wolke in the house. Readying fire! My old pal and my old pal Scott Wolke in the house. Yes, I did a lot of con prep today, and I wanted to show this off. Let's show this off. Guys, everybody that buys something at Davenger Con is going to get a commemorative badge, laminate, whatever you call it. So there you go. There's the front and then the back. I'm so excited to send these out. So they're going to come post-con. Obviously, it would be really hard for me to send these out to people beforehand because I don't know who's going to be there. And it's your birthday next weekend, right? So I think it's Trip, the wrench master. I think it's his birthday next weekend, and I believe it's Amber's birthday next weekend. So exciting. Well, I appreciate that, Tyler. You should take it off when you shower. It'll probably fall apart if you do a shower thing. All right. So let's go through Davenger Con. Let's talk about it. But first, I want to tell everybody, don't forget the end of the month, April 30th. April 30th is SunDAVE Sit Down, Davenger Book Club, and we're reading God Country from Image Comics, Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw. So don't forget to pick this up or download it, however you want to read it. It's a 6-issue miniseries, and that's it. So it's a one and done. You can read the book. It's a $17 trade paperback. I'm sure you can get this on Amazon for a little bit cheaper if you don't want to buy it, because you've never read it before. But we're going to be doing God Country for book club, and that's I know Brady loves that book. I know Nick loves that book, and I love that book. So hell yeah. Next weekend's your birthday, brother. I got something for you. Hey, Grit City Rust. Speaking of Davenger Con, look at that. Grit City Rust right there on the badge. So everybody's going to be getting one of those who buys something at Davenger Con. And even if you just buy like a piece of merch, I'm sending that to you. Even if you just buy a pin, oh yes, there's pins. I can still send that to you. It'll go in the same package. Jerome, thank you. So yeah, if nobody saw, I was a guest on Comic Collector Geek, his YouTube channel. We filmed that a couple weeks ago, but it dropped on Saturday. I didn't realize it was dropping this Saturday. And Alan's a nice guy, and we had a great conversation. And I look forward to talking to him again, and maybe we'll get him on SunDAVE Sit Down. Um, so that was a lot of fun. I threw the link for that, I believe, in my Instagram story. I'll what should we call it? I'll put it in this description below, post this show. And I also dropped a video Saturday, a surprise Saturday video, where I ripped packs, 2 boxes of the Garbage Pail Kids, the new series, the baseball Garbage Pail Kids set that Alex Pardee did all the art for, and Alex Pardee's a good friend. And I really had a fun time talking. So it's not just the packs. He talks about his process, the process of getting the cards done, the license. So a lot of cool stuff. It's a little bit over an hour, but it's a lot of fun. You can listen to most of it, and you can just kind of casually look at the cards. I'll go through some of those cards tonight. Ryan Epp in the house. What's going on, Ryan? My main man, Mr. Discord himself, Mattis Mack in the house. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna give you one in person when I see you this week, wherever. We'll figure it out. Mr. No Love. Hello, Lamar. How you doing? Well, I am excited. I will say this. I started putting together short boxes today. My aim is to have about 1,000 to about 1,500 new books that I've not tried selling for next weekend. Slabs, sets, cards, all a little bit of everything. So, for example, Grit City, Mr. Josh, right there. He deals in a lot of vintage T-shirts, and so I'm going to bust out a couple of vintage T-shirts, and we'll do some of that as well as comics, and I'm sure I'll have a ton of other stuff. Pins, I'll have vintage pins out. I'll have a little bit of everything next weekend. It's going to be a lot of work. I will sign anybody's badge. That is a guarantee. All right. Yeah, the shirt. So here, let's look at this. So we've got this shirt I'm going to have available. They're going to be made. Oh, God, I'm reversed here. Here we go. Or let me show you the second shirt. There's 2 different colorways. And here is the second one. So the blue, I think the blue pops a little bit more, but I do kind of dig the pinkish. We tried to match Joe Scar. We tried to match the purple logo that he did that's on the badge and on the sticker and all that. But the way that the purples came out, it looked super dull on the shirts. So we did 2 different colorways. So basically what I'm going to do is this is going to be an order situation. If you guys want to just during the con, you can just DM me, or you can, tell me in a moment, and I'll write down. They're going to be I'm going to try to keep them at $25 shipped. I think that I'm able to do that. So and these canvas ones that the new shirts came in, super comfortable. The XL is a little big on me, so that means they run a little bit large, but we could talk about that later. Thank you, Johnny. It was a lot of fun to talk to Alan. That is a lot of books, Tyler, but I figure if I'm selling, I've just got to cover my bases. I'm going to have a lot of stuff. The blue is a beautiful shirt. So, I'm not going to take orders right now just because we're sitting down, this is SunDAVE Sit Down. But if you do want to message me before the con, you can message me on Instagram this week and be like, hey, I want this size, and you know what, I can try and order it for you beforehand. And like I said, $25 shipped. I think that's a okay price. I don't know. I've never sold T-shirts before. So yeah, so we got the blue and the pink. I kind of like the pink, but the blue's dope. But yeah, it does. I mean, the gradient on it's great. So okay, so we might as well jump into the merch and all the different stuff. You guys are getting the first look at the stuff. This is the first time I've ever done any type of merch. I mean, the stickers, sure, but you please send me via messenger pigeon. I would love that. All right. So along with the badge, anybody that gets anything at the con, and these are limited, so 150 people, and then I'm out. I got none left. You're getting a sticker also. Okay. So this is going to be these two items are free with any purchase. And if I have some extra stickers left over, I'll throw two in. The shirts are going to be 25. Are you guys ready for this? You guys ready? I think some of you have seen this, but how about that? The first ever look at that Davenger enamel lapel pin. Boom. Right there. So they're about, I think they're about an inch, maybe an inch and a tenth. And you got your rubber fasteners on back, and you got your boop boops, and there it is, the West Coast Davenger pin. Trip, I know you don't want black shirts anymore. I could see if there's white. But I think black shirts might be the only option. Davenger's condoms were a missed opportunity. Wow. I could say so many things right now, but what I say is practice safe sex. All right, so you got the lapel pins. Yeah, I'm stoked on this. I'm a pin guy. I have quite a big pin collection. They're super light. They'll fit in any package. Like even if you order, let's say I'm shipping a Gemini, I can still get this in the Gemini without fucking up the books. I have a Trip has seen it before because I've done it with him. I have a very sneaky way of shipping pins with comics in Geminis. But either way, if you order a shirt, if you're getting, these will fit in pretty much anything. That's what she said. All right, so the pins. Okay, you guys ready? Dave Korea in the house. Dave Korea. Dave, I'm just showing off the shirts. Okay, Dave, you haven't seen the badge yet. The badges came out great. I finished putting them all together today. And then you saw the pins. If it wasn't for Dave, I wouldn't be able to order these pins. Dave is my pin guru, and the pins look great. Yeah, there you go. Snot Girl pin. Okay, you guys are about to see the stickers for the first time. I am doing. I wanted to think. I wanted to. Me and Joe came up with some really creative stuff, and I wanted to to create a sticker pack, but have them like be more in my personality. And so you're gonna see the debut of 4 of the 5 stickers in the first West Coast Davenger short box sticker pack. I encourage you to put these on your short boxes. Now, why I'm only showing you 4? Well, the 5th one is either going to enrage you or you're going to love it, but it's going to be a surprise. All right, so first off, we've got a new prismatic logo sticker, very much like the 90s stickers in the vending machines in grocery stores that we used to buy, if you're old enough to remember that. Joe in the house. There he is, Mr. Design Man himself. Joe, let me know if you want to jump on with me. I'll send you a link. Just give me the word. All right. So Joe designed all this stuff. Joe is my design guy, and he is so fucking good at taking like the things that come out of my head and making them exist in the real. So I got to thank him for all this. Okay, so then you've got the brand new prismatic logo sticker with the new colorway. That's I think we call that Street Fighter. That's the Street Fighter colors. And next, you've got the inevitable Comic Team sticker. Whoa, man. Whoa. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember Lamar. All right. I will. I'm going to shoot you it in Gmail, Joe. So just give me one sec, and everybody hang tight. We're going to get Joe in here, and Joe's going to be selling at the con. Joe is my guy. All right, sent. Okay, so there's a Comic Team sticker. Oh, this isn't even the sticker that's going to enrage people. That's the surprise one. All right, and then, guys, you remember, what do you do when Silver Surfer's coming? You've got to call Galactus. We've got another holographic sticker of Galactus and the Silver Surfer emblazoned, embedded, entombed with my logo or my name, the West Coast Avengers. Okay, so we've got Comic Tim, we've got the Surfer Galactus, we've got the new one. Okay, is everybody ready? Guys, it was inevitable that a sticker like this had to happen, and Joe pulled it off. But there is the Todd scroll. See Todd, buy Todd. Look at that. Look how good that looks. Look how good that looks. So now you will have a sticker that normally would say Todd McFarlane, but it says See Todd, buy Todd. So these are 4 of the 5 stickers that are going to be in the custom sticker packs. Okay. The 5th one's going to be a surprise. I'm not going to show it to anybody. You're just going to get the sticker pack and you'll see it in there. It's going to be $10 for the 5 stickers, and that'll just go in with anything that you order. So, I mean, if you only want a sticker pack, I'd probably ship it for, I'll probably just throw a stamp and ship it in an envelope, and, we'll worry about it if it's some reason doesn't get to you. So, hi, Amber. Amber, I mentioned you because your birthday is right next weekend, or it's next week. As a man that lives by that statement, yes. So the sticker packs are going to be 10. There's going to be 5 total stickers. And then this will be with that order too, because anybody that buys anything is getting a con sticker. Like I said, here are the pins. The pins will be, I think 8 was the price that I had on the lapel pins. I'm really excited. I'm so stoked that he was able to put these off. And here's the other thing. After this, probably next month, I'm going to debut the 2nd short box sticker pack. I only wanted to make 5 stickers for the con because I figured I don't want to overkill it. Yeah, Joe did a great job. Joe did a fantastic job. The secret sticker is you on the toilet. It's not a bad idea, but no. Okay, so it's 24th. There he is.
Hey,
Look at this guy.
hey,
It's Joe. Joe Scar, everybody. Scar System, Mr. fucking designer himself.
Yeah. Showing off the goods.
Yeah, the pins came out so sick. I want to stick them on everything because I have so many of them.
What's that? Like that military ritual where they like punch a pin directly into you?
Oh yeah, no, that's on your coffin, I thought.
Oh, it's on your coffin? I thought they did it like into your chest or something.
That sounds like something the U.S. military would do. No offense. Wait, Tyler. Me and Tyler have already talked about this. Tyler's a Marine. Well, I guess a former Marine because he's not currently in the Marines. But yeah, the shirts came out. I this one's great. I'll probably wear this day 1, and I'll wear this day 2.
I like the blue one. I think it's growing on me a little bit.
Yeah. Oh well, there you go. It happened. Tyler said, as a Marine, it's been done to my chest.
It's a thing. Yeah, I've heard of that before.
Ouch.
No, you have to do that on the last day of Davenger Con.
Okay. Don't tempt me, because you know I will. I'll fucking do it, and then I'll just scream, and then I'll just be like, click end. Yeah, dude, you did a great job on these, and I
Thank you.
I can't wait for people to have like these in hand.
Yeah.
Because they really do look fantastic in hand.
Well, I've seen them all in person, except for the holographic one.
This one? No.
Oh no, yeah, the Davenger Con one.
Yeah,
the Davenger Con one I haven't seen.
Yeah, because I got those after I sent you that package. But yeah, the shirt looks great. Everything looks great, and I hope that everybody is happy with the price point. I don't know. I feel weird, like when I talk about how much it's going to cost, but like it costs money to make this stuff.
Yeah, no, they're free. I just wish them from the universe, and they just show up.
Oh yeah. No, you told me about that special power you have. Yeah. So are you excited about the con?
I'm very excited. I've got a stack of stuff to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon my voice. I'm having a hard time. I got for Easter like these little packets of Warhead Pop Rocks. They're super sour, and I ate them all. I ate like 10 of them at once. and I burned a giant hole in my tongue. And now I can. It's like I just put some stuff on it so I can talk. But yeah.
Well, I guess hopefully you can pass some advice on to your kids.
Yeah.
Tell them daddy did something stupid. Don't
Yeah.
do what daddy did.
Yeah, it was very, very dumb. I have no self-control. I have no self-control.
As I could see by that CGC house you built.
Yeah. This is my slab fort.
Yeah, just in case anybody is unaware, uh, he lives in a slab house, and CGC made it custom, so he kind of advertises for them whenever he goes on the internet.
Yeah. You can't see there's a wall right here.
Yeah.
And there's no way out of here. I'm just in this tiny little box.
And that's why, like, every once in a while, your kids or your wife will bring you something to eat, and this time it was candy.
Yeah, it was 10 packets of Warhead popping candy.
The slab cave and the comic closet. I love that, actually.
Yeah.
That's great.
Slabbery.
What I did want to show off, and I don't know if you've even seen some of this stuff, Joe, but the raffle. So doing a raffle at the con to support two charities. One is the Laidler Music Money Scholarship Foundation, and Bryce, Done Messed Up, who's done all my theme music. He has a scholarship foundation that he set up with his wife at his daughter's high school, helping kids that are going into music programs at college. So that's obviously great. I mean, I know a lot of people in here, including yourself, have kids, and you yourself also, you make music, so you can understand, how that is very important. And then the other one,
recorder. I play recorder and vuvuzela.
You do play. I've seen you play it. You've stood outside my house trying to get me to bring comics out by playing.
Yeah, I have vuvuz all at all hours.
You're like the Pied Piper of Vuvuzela. Vuvuzela. And then the second charity is called Make Tiny Changes. It's a Scottish charity that was started in my friend's memory 5 years ago by his friends and family after he took his own life, and it helps kids. It supports creative youth and in kind of like dealing with mental health crisis. And just supporting them, and they do work a lot of grants for people that are doing research or therapy or just all sorts of things. And it's kids, so more important than we gotta nurture the youth, otherwise our world's gonna truly turn to shit. So $20 a raffle ticket, 5 for 80. And I want to show off some of the prizes. Some were donated and some were donated by me. Some were donated by other people. First off is this Star Wars black and white box, which is from Topps in 20, let's just say it's like 2018. But anyway, you're guaranteed to get an autograph in here. It's like $125 value. You can open it or you can keep it sealed. I got some slabs that were donated by friends and myself. We've got a Paper Girls 198. So the thing is, I tried to keep the minimum value of everything to at least $100, so that when you're buying a $20 raffle ticket, you want to, feel like you won. We've got a West Coast Avengers 9/8. This is the first ongoing series. We've got a Fight Girls 198, which is a Frank Cho book that I am unfamiliar with, but it's a CBCS 9/8. We've got a Secret Wars 8 7/5 CBCS. This is probably the one I want to win, but I can't because I'm running the raffle. This is a Hulk. Let me see if I can get that out of the light. Hulk #1 design variant, CBCS yellow label, signed by Ryan Otley. And then yeah, it is dope. And then Invincible Iron Man 7/9/8 CBCS, first cameo of Riri Williams. And then still got some more stuff coming in the mail. It should actually be here tomorrow. I think it's going to be a total of 15 prizes. So it's not like you buy a ticket and you only have one chance to win. You're going to have 15 chances to win. This is probably the biggest ticket item so far, is this Avengers print That was from Dynamic Forces, and it's numbered out of 1,500, signed by Steve Epting, Tom Palmer, and Stan Lee.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think this is about a $400 to $500 print. I'm gonna ship this rolled because I don't have a mailer to, to ship that flat. But that is a beautiful piece. Big B, what's going on? You missed. We're gonna go over it again, but Joe's in the house. Joe Scar. Joe is he's the lead designer of the West Coast Davengers, and he's the only designer of the West Coast Davengers. Your team is you. Your team is you. Dave Chella. All right, fair enough. I'll take it. Unfortunately, there's no like half naked girls dancing in this room right now, but Damon Albarn's in the corner playing some Gorillaz music.
Did you watch that the other day?
I didn't get to watch it. How was their set?
The set was awesome. The audience was like not doing much though. I felt like, yeah, I know. I feel like they were there to see Bad Bunny. And they were like holding their spot.
Did Bad Bunny come out and play with that lame ass?
No, that's the other thing is Bad Bunny didn't come out and play with the Gorillaz, even though they played his song.
That song's lame.
But they had everyone else: Del the Funky Homo Sapien, De La Soul. Yeah, it was like a star-studded fest.
Of course, because it's Coachella. Did they do the deluxe version of Cracker Island? Has a Del song called, was it Chicken? The hell's it called? It's really funny. It's a great song.
That song was awful.
I love that song. It's so weird.
It's weird. They didn't do that one. No, they didn't do that one.
Bye, Amber. We'll see you soon. Mattis, the 9.8 newsstand Hulk is not going to be a prize, but I did just get a 9.8 newsstand Hulk 340 Part 2, and that one will be for sale. So I have one for the PC, and I've got one for sale at the con. David said last time I was there, he saw hologram Tupac. Yikes.
Oh,
yeah. So hologram Tupac's such a weird thing. So there's all the swag. I don't think we had anything else planned. The t-shirts will be for sale. You could just order them and I'll have them direct shipped to you. The pins will come from me, the stickers, the passes, all that stuff. Let's see if we can get that to focus there. There we go. Yeah, they're great.
Those turned out so cool. It's amazing they can get that much detail into something that small.
I know. It just kind of, it opens a new door to doing other pins.
Yeah.
Other pins. Do you, you don't have to, but do you want to preview anything that you're going to be selling at the con?
Look. Man. Yeah, I got stacks. I don't really have shit organized right now.
That's fine. That's why I just asked. You could just say, nah.
It's got like Aliens 1 first print.
Nice.
Mirror Mint. I got some Todd.
Hey.
Random stuff.
2 inches is big enough, Joe. Aw.
Ooh, what's this?
I saw another Todd. Was that a Todd Conan?
More Todd.
More Todd. There's going to be so much Todd for sale at the con.
Yeah.
Todd for everybody.
Yeah. What else I got here? I'm like, I don't want to. It's kind of cool. I got a sealed Batman DC
with the
thing. These aren't really keys or nothing, but still super cool.
There's what, 15 different issues, I think, or something, 30 different issues that had that logo.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget.
So you get 2 of them here.
There you go.
Got the full Silver Surfer Black run.
Nice.
With variants. More Todd. Yeah.
Nice. Everybody loves a little Todd. Everybody loves a lot of Todd.
What else I got here? More Silver Surfer Black. Yeah, I got a whole other stack too. We'll leave that one a mystery. But,
no, I'm excited. I am halfway done. I still need some more people to send me, but I am so for the people in the listening right now, everybody who's taking part in this sale is sending me a video clip, and I'm making like a little trailer opening credits, and it's like I already have it halfway edited, and I'm waiting for everybody to send me the clips. But Joe's clip, I might need to change mine because his is so good. I'm really excited. I'm excited to talk to Joe Benitez again. Obviously, I love Joe, and I'm excited to talk to Jim Rugg for the first time. That's going to be great.
Yeah, I think I'm going on after Jim Rugg.
I think so. I think you are right after Jim Rugg.
Some big boots to fill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am having 2 Joes on, 1 Jim. So maybe we need to get another Jim. Any Jims out there want to come and sell at Davenger Con?
You should get Jim on.
I know. I think so Jim Healy is Jim. I think Jim's gonna come for SummerCon, but I think I'm gonna have him on SunDAVE Sitdown at some point too. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. How many Daves? Actually, I think there's just one. There can't really be too many Daves at Davenger Con because then it gets watered down.
Gets muddy.
Yeah, gets muddy. Comics Limited, what's going on? We are talking about Davenger Con, which is next weekend. And let's just run through this. Joe is not just a homie, not just a comics hunter, but he is the designer. He is half the day. Look, I wouldn't be able to do half this shit without you, or all of it. So everybody gets a badge if they order something. And then the sticker pack is going to come with the See Todd Buy Todd sticker, the new Street Fighter Prismatic sticker, the Silver Surfer Galactus sticker, the Comic Team sticker, and then there's a surprise sticker that comes in the sticker pack. And then everybody gets one of these for free.
Oh, you're not showing the one sticker.
Yeah, I figure if I let it be a surprise, it'll make some people endlessly happy, and it'll enrage some other people. So if you can figure out what that is, then you probably already know what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some folks out there that can guess.
Yeah, they can read between the lines, but yeah, I spent all day today like bagging and boarding books, putting these together. Yesterday I spent all day like grading and bagging and boarding books. I got a whole probably gonna have at least 50 new ASM books that I've never had out, and including like some really early ones like ASM 7, some really early Silver Marvel books like Avengers 2, some early Tales of Suspense. But then I bought another 4 cases from that dude of it was like all Deadpool books, and now I've got all these crazy Deadpool variants. So got any Deadpool fans out there, I'll see you at Davenger Con.
Have you gone through everything you bought from him?
Yes, but not with a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah.
Not with a fine-tooth comb. Like there's literally, he's got one stack of Deadpool variants that are all the photobomb variants. So I have to see what those are worth. I have no clue.
Yeah.
Like it's, yeah. Tyler said he could pretend to be a Jim. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, the Comics Tim sticker is absolutely hilarious. Dave is asking, show us your current favorite slab.
Man, I don't really do favorites. I've showed off some of these before that I bought from Jim. Like if you guys haven't, this is that
oh yeah, the double cover.
Double cover 9/8 newsstand. I love that. My last one I bought was Conan 194.
Yeah.
I'm really stoked on this. I've been looking for one for a while. Dave messaged me. He's like, there's a sale. They got one. Yeah,
I saw that. Like I just happened to be watching an Instagram sale and I saw that. I'm like, yep, I know someone that wants that.
Yeah. Like I jumped on that quick. He had a really good price on it too. What else? I just got not like the biggest book or anything, but Max 1 newsstand. Like, yeah, I'm a huge Max fan. And
dude, I think there's only like 6 9/8 on the census. How did I not know that you got that?
It's real small amount on the census.
Did you get that book from Jim when I pulled out that stack of them?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
got it
that's
from
right.
Jim, and then I graded it. It wasn't graded. I graded it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a cool thing. Like you don't see it that much, you know.
Sure. Show off that ASM 300. Yeah. Fun fact: Joe stole that from me.
I clubbed him over the head. I ripped it out of his hands, and then I peed on him before I ran away with it.
Yeah, it's kind of harsh because I had to drive home with you for 7 hours after that. It was a very awkward car ride.
Yeah, and it smelled.
Yeah. The glow in the dark version of the Max #1's great. I have the 3D one. I can't sell it. Nobody wants to buy it.
Yeah, I got the glow in the dark one, but I sold it.
Oh, okay. Big B, he did not have the Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes. I looked for that comic specifically. It was not in there. Nice. Some people saw this one that I showed off at the sale this week, but this is one of my newest acquisitions, an ASM 6 in a 7.0.
Yeah. I might have to club you for that one too.
All right. Well, we'll see. I mean, you might have to. You know what I wanted to? I do want to show off some of these while we've got. I didn't know that. Yeah. So there's glow in the dark Max #1. There's a 3D Max #1. There's the regular, the newsstand, and then I don't think they ever did any other like gimmicky versions, right?
Some ash cans, right?
Oh yeah, there's like 6 different ash cans. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The glow in the dark one. It's funny. Maddie bought 2 of them when he was here last year because John, you'll get this. I mean, Stargazer had 2 copies and he bought both. So I did want to show off some of these. The video that I shot with Alex Pardee this weekend. Brady, yes, all of Davenger Con is on this channel. Supposedly you can only stream for 12 hours at a time. So I'll probably cut and take just like a break before each interview. So before Joe Benitez comes on, we'll end the stream and I'll start it up and I'll keep going for the rest of the day. And then on Sunday when Jim Rugg's on, I'll end the stream right before I'm interviewing him, take a 10-minute break, and then come on with him. So, but I think what I'll do is I'll post the schedule on everywhere. I wanted to show some of these off. If you didn't watch my box break, here are the highlights. Alex Pardee, one of our good friends, Dave's one of Dave's oldest friends, other Dave, and he did the most recent Garbage Pail Kids set, which is Major League Baseball / Garbage Pail Kids, but he got to do his self-portrait in there, and it's Artsy Alex and pencil pushing Pardee. And then I just show off some of the cool hits, the numbered cards and whatnot. Blowout Trout. So this is an homage to the Atom Bomb card from the first Garbage Pail Kids series, and that's Mike Trout of the Anaheim Angels. My favorite team, the Mets, gets Max Scherzer, and here's the both cards numbered out of 199. Got Mad Max and Savage Scherzer, and then obviously it's a Morton Joe from Fury Road, which who doesn't love Mad Max Fury Road? I think I met somebody once that didn't like that movie, and we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No good.
These are the couple of the blanks. So they did like a variant where it's just like a blank, but I said to Alex, and Alex agreed. It's like, why not just do like a comic blank and just nothing, just a picture, virgin variant. But no, Topps is too dumb. Spencer Flider. This one's numbered out of 99. I like the, let's see if we can get it, the pretzel shit. Juan of the Dead, which is I guess that's Juan Soto. Yeah, Juan Soto. Dawn of the Dead, Shaun of the Dead, Juan of the Dead.
Juan of the Dead.
Oh, there's Bugged Out Billy, the other Spencer Strider one. There's Resurrect Ted. And if you watch the video, Alex explains, some of the changes that Topps made without him knowing. There's a Bugged Out Billy out of 250, and then the Julio Rodriguez, the Hot Rodriguez, numbered out of 199. A fun set. It's completely sold out. I bought 2 boxes on pre-order because I wanted to support Alex's work, and had a fun time talking with him. And he agreed to come back on the show as long as I do an episode about Todd toys, like the first 4 years of McFarlane toys, which is not going to be a problem for me to talk about. Scotty Massage Body McKean.
Still want to get one of those Max figures from it's like the first couple years.
I think it's like the 3rd year in they did the Max figure. I'm such an idiot. Somebody had one locally for us, and I didn't buy it, and I'm like, why didn't I just buy it? You know, McFarlane toys. I mean, we're almost the same age. Well, like, do you remember the first time that you got one of those Spawn toys? Like how insane they looked compared to what was being put out then?
Yeah, I got the first one I got was I think it was Curse was the name of the character. And I was done reading Spawn comics at that point.
Yeah.
But I started collecting the Spawn toys, and I didn't care who the character was. They just looked so dope that I just had to have them all. And I literally bought every Spawn toy that came out. And I even have like the Interlink 6. And you would get 6 figures, and they'd go together like a transformer to make one giant.
Yeah, that was later on, right? Wasn't that later on in the run?
Well, I had like everything beyond. I think the Nitro Riders was like the last series I bought.
Yeah.
And then after that, unfortunately, my house got robbed. They took all my fucking toys and they were gone. But I loved them, even though I didn't know who like the characters were.
Because they looked awesome.
And they had like before then, figures were like blocky and like. And Spawn figures were like little statues. Like you could put it on the shelf, and it was like a talking piece. Like it looked amazing.
Well, it kind of goes into what Johnny's saying with the MYR 924. That's Johnny. Look at what starting lineups used to look like, and then when McFarlane finally got the chance to do the sports figures, it was like it was like toys never existed, and then they did.
Yeah,
you know, it's wild because starting lineups were these unmovable plastic figures, you know. For hockey, sometimes you can move, you know, like the arms. On basketball, I think maybe the David Robinson, you could move like the ball was stuck to one hand and you could move the other hand up and down. But like there was no articulation because that doesn't even count. And then he got the license to do the baseball figures and I think football. And then he fought to get the NHL license finally because he was doing NHLPA because they have like different licenses. Like the Players Association can license out. You can like get the names, but you can't get the teams from the Players Association. So it's very interesting. But when he started doing that, it just changed everything. And the Movie Maniacs, oh man, nobody made any of those figures. And he makes Michael Myers and Ghostface and Jason and Freddy, and it's like it was like the coolest time to be a toy person. And then now it's like a different ball game because like it's eons from where it was in the mid 90s to the late 90s. But man, he changed the game completely.
Yeah, and it like progressed too. It was like for a moment there, every new series that came out was like more detailed, bigger figures, you know, bigger. Like I remember when that Jaws box set came out. He also did the King Kong box set.
Yeah, the King Kong. He did the Alien, the Queen Alien, and Ripley.
They're huge. He did what was that Clive Barker's Tortured Souls?
And then he did the 12-inch, the 16-inch figures. Well, and Malbolgia was the first of the large figures that they did. And he still talks about it, and he always kind of stayed true to it. Like he was trying to make toys cooler, bigger, and better, and like Bigby said, more acceptable to display. But he wasn't trying to destroy people in price. And at the time, they were a little more expensive. But as like inflation increased and toys became more expensive, he just went up, and then he just leveled out with his prices and like kept the prices kind of the same.
Yeah, I mean, I remember them being like $16-17 for the standard figures.
Yeah.
And like if you look at like the Diamond, like the Marvel Selects, figures now, those are like $40, you know?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like as those came out and went up in price, he kind of maintained. He kind of maintained.
Yeah.
I don't know what his DC multiverse stuff costs these days, but I don't think it eclipses $20 for the regular figure. I do
Yeah.
not think it does, which is
Well,
impressive because like more plastic but less money.
so
Yeah.
I've told you this, but I was a manager for Spencer Gifts.
Yeah.
And so I could pre-order all that stuff and then just keep it in the box.
Mhm.
And then I could either put it on layaway or I use my discount. And a lot of times I'd put it on layaway. And then by the time I'd go to pay it off, it'd be clearanced out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I could then just like refi my layaway with the
Yeah, yeah.
clearance price. And so I got a lot of them really cheap. And then I was close friends with the manager of KB Toys. And
Uh-huh.
so we would do figure swaps. You know, he'd set aside all the Marvel figures for me, all the Marvel
Right.
Legends, Spider-Man Classics, and I'd set aside all the McFarlane stuff for him. And
Wow.
we made out like bandits, you know. Uh, but yeah, I was the number one McFarlane toy selling Spencer Gifts in the country.
Well, because you
Uh,
bought into it so much, like of course you're gonna
Yeah,
be
and
displaying it.
I would like my customers would like they'd see what I was into. They'd buy I had one guy who was really into Kiss. And so
Uh-huh.
I'd get
Oh
all
wow.
the big Kiss figures, the McFarlane Kiss figures. They had the giant ones. And of
Mhm.
course there's 4 figures for each album, you know, like the Destroyer Kiss and the was it Love Gun or something? I don't know. I remember the Kiss albums, but
Yeah.
it was like the box set and
Yeah, because that
the
all
metallic,
4. Yeah, the Metallica
yeah,
box set too.
the Metallica box set. Yeah. I mean, so I would know my customers and I'd be like, yo, this one's coming out. You'd like this. This one. So even
Mhm.
if they weren't figure people, there was a figure for them, you know?
Well, that's what he did. He made toys for he turned people that weren't toy people into toy people because if you liked horror movies, you were buying them. If you liked music figures, you were buying them. If you liked sports figures, you were buying them. If you like comics, you were I mean, shit. He did Yellow Submarine. He did Where the Wild Things Roam. The thing that bums me out the most, and it's heartbreaking because I had the Jaws box set. It's my all-time favorite movie, and something fell on it from another shelf once and like destroyed it. And then by the time I was ready to buy another one, that thing is worth like $350. Now it's worth like 700.
Yeah.
And then he did the 3D movie poster sculpts, which were pretty cool. And I never bought the Jaws one, and that's like a $200 thing now. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Derpa? KB Toys. It's funny that you talked about KB Toys. Alex Pardee worked at KB. You
Oh,
worked at
nice.
Spencer. I
Mhm.
worked at Electronics Boutique in Long Island. And
Yeah.
I used to do the same thing with the figures. Like they'd come in and I would I would take my discount and I would buy all the figures.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
he did
And
say we could cheap. He did say we could cheap.
we were mall rats. We were
Yeah. Yeah,
mall
dude, it's
uh
not the same as it used to be.
no. Actually I worked at an electronics boutique for 2 weeks as
Yeah.
well. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I love video games. I worked there around the time that episode 1 came out. So I remember doing this huge fucking creating this huge window display with all the episode 1 stuff. Because they had the pod racing game that came out when the movie was released. Kiss in the in the younger voice. Merchandising,
Yeah.
merchandising, merchandising. Yeah, pops, man, they're not even remotely the same. I don't want to offend the pops crowd, but there's absolutely no creativity in those things. None whatsoever.
No.
No.
I mean, I don't know, like, I don't wanna talk smack about Pops because every now like, dude, if, like, there's a character I like, maybe one day I see myself having a Pop.
Yeah.
But, I don't as far as, like, hoarding them and stuff, I just don't see.
Well, now we have a reason to hate Funko because they killed
That's right.
Mondo. So
Well, and they filled up a landfill with those things too.
yeah, yeah, they did. So much crap. Sam Goody, man, Sam Goody was one of those stores where like I never bought music there because they were always more expensive than anybody else, but they always had like good posters, good shirts. They had toys. Every once in a while they'd have like trading cards there, But yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny, I didn't realize that you worked at Newberry Comics. Man, I went into one of the Newberries last year, a year before. Man, they basically turned into Spencer Gifts, but more comic themed. But they still have some great stuff on their website, like records and stuff like that. Derpa said
Isn't
he
that
made it. Oh,
that crazy? Sam Goody was selling CDs for like $25 back in the
yeah.
90s.
Yeah, that's why I never bought music there.
Could you imagine, like, and you couldn't, other than the radio and MTV and stuff, like, there's no way to like preview if you even liked a band, you know? You just
Yeah.
kind of had to like drop $25 and hope it was good, you know?
Did they have the Wall out here on the West Coast? That store, the Wall.
I don't think so. I don't
So,
know.
music, obviously stores for the most part back in the, up until like the last 15 years, right? Maybe 20. Stores are regional. Like grocery stores are still regional.
Yeah.
Winn-Dixie does not exist out in the West Coast. A&P doesn't exist on the West Coast. But music stores and like the video stores were kind of regional. Like some parts of the country had Suncoast Video, but then some had the other one. I can't remember what the other one was called, but
I
it was
think
like,
we had Suncoast.
yeah, there was Suncoast and then another one. And somebody I'm sure in the chat will chime in. Sam Goody, I think, was regional, but then like when Sam Goody split with and became like partially FYE, I think those were regional. We had a store out in New York, New Jersey called The Wiz, which was like electronics, but like also music and video games. But that doesn't exist out here. Fry's exists in California, but Fry's Electronics doesn't exist in most other parts of the West Coast.
No.
Yeah, so it was weird. But we had a place called The Wall that I think came about in the late 80s, early 90s. And it was like a revelation for people because you could listen to anything. You could go in there and you could listen to anything at their listening stations. But their prices reflected Sam Goody. It was like $25 for a CD. I'm like, no, fuck that.
No. Yeah, do you like if you used to have a book of CDs in your car, people
Yeah.
would break your windows out and steal that shit.
Dude, I had my car broken into at the Long Island Railroad and they stole my CD booklet.
Could you imagine getting a CD booklet stolen now? Like,
God.
yeah.
Licorice Pizza. I only know the name Licorice Pizza from the movie that came out 2 years ago. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. We
Can't
had
even
Hastings. I don't know if you've ever been to a Hastings, but it's like books, music, DVDs, CDs, all that. It was huge. It's like the size of a grocery store, but it's just all media.
Yeah,
I think they locked that down.
Hastings does comic variants.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some of the ones that I got. Even one of I got the Deadpool Mario variant, and it's a Hastings variant.
They'd have exclusive singles with bonus tracks. They'd have they were known for like having a crazy world music. Like they got all the imports and shit, And then we had in Seattle, I don't know if it's elsewhere, it's called Silver Platters. I think it might even still exist. But
it is, both stores in Seattle still exist.
Okay, yeah. So that was kind of always my jam. I love that place.
Yeah. Well, any of the it's kind of like comic stores don't really have that chain thing. Like there are some chains, right? There's Newberry Comics, there's there's a couple that I know of, and I can't think of the names, but they're regional chains, very regional. But the problem is like those, you'll never find interesting stuff at those stores because they all carry the same thing. It's the single independent stores that really, like when it comes to record and music stores, you want to go to those places. You'll find some off the wall stuff. All right, Johnny, you please do that. We had a big listening station with 20 stations for previewing albums at Warehouse Music. Huh. For music in Cali, we used to go to the Warehouse. I've heard of that before. Ryan, there you go. Nobody beats the Wiz. That's that was a legendary commercial on in New York, New Jersey, and they sponsored like the Island. They would sponsor almost every sports team. Like if you watch a Yankee game or a Met game or an Islander game or a Ranger game from the 80s through like the mid to late 90s, especially the Islanders, you would see the Wiz on the boards advertised or something like that. All right, so Warehouse Music, which bought out Blockbuster Music. Okay, interesting.
There was a Blockbuster Music. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. used to stand. Yeah, we used to buy tickets for shows at the Wiz. Ticketmaster's such a wild thing because like you go to a drugstore, your local video store would be a Ticketmaster outlet.
You
It's
hope
like,
you were first in line and that the dude knew how to do it right.
yeah,
If
otherwise
you
you
didn't
were
know how to
screwed.
do it right, you weren't going to the concert.
No, you weren't. You weren't. Fry, Zergy Fresh, welcome in. Nice to see you. Fry shut down during the pandemic. Yeah, I used to stay whenever I used to work in LA for my old job. I'd have them put me up in Manhattan Beach at the Marriott because it was beautiful area of LA, close to the airport, and there was a Fry's down the block, and I would go in there and just like pillage their DVD section because their DVDs were like they'd have the craziest B horror movies for like $6 each, like shit that doesn't exist anymore. Uh, uh, Tower.
Oh, Dave's gone, and it's just me. Quick, what do we talk about? You guys.
I'm here.
Oh, thank God.
All right, sorry, I accidentally left my own stream.
I just had a panic attack there for a second. No big
So
deal.
Tower Records was big out. Yeah, there were Tower Records. Tower Records is one that is near and dear to my heart. I know there was one in Seattle. It was like a mile and a half from my high school, so we would cut class and go there. We'd like leave school early and go to Tower Records, and it was fucking huge. Like half the store was music, and then the back half of the store was magazines, DVDs, porn, like everything. They sold everything.
Yeah.
Comics. One of the greatest stores in American history, bar none. Bar none.
I used to like all their vinyl toys, like all their little
Yeah.
Mice and bunnies and Quee and all that kind of.
They got into that. Yeah, in the early 2000s, they got into that stuff. Tower Records, HMV, right, and then Virgin Records Megastore in Irving. Well, whatchamacallit, in Manhattan on 14th Street. Man, such a great store. That's where my vinyl love started. And Virgin got into comics in like the early 2000s. They started a comic publishing line, and John Woo wrote a comic. Jenna Jameson wrote a comic. It was a weird time to be a comics fan, like late 90s, early 2000s. I think the John Woo comic was like Seven Brothers, or forget what it was called, but Woo came up with the concept, and Garth Ennis was the actual writer of the comic. Okay. Vic vibes. I'll pass on that. Music plus restrooms. Restroom art is still one of the like worst, greatest things that anybody ever thought of doing. Like some of the most horrible shit ever written on a surface is in a restroom. Off topic, do you remember Crazy Eddie's? His prices are insane. Of course I remember Crazy Eddie's. There was a Crazy Eddie's by my house in Deer Park, and he's actually kind of like a legend. They did a documentary about him. Like I think it was a lot of fraud and tax evasion, but he was a like the commercial guy that got famous and then got thrown in jail or whatever. But yeah,
I don't even know who Crazy Eddie is, but I know that's like Crazy Eddie's is like slang for like I'm practically giving it away.
Yeah.
His legend continues even if you don't know who he is.
See, it's like man, Long Island was home to a lot of people that have had documentaries about them, like Amy, what was her name that shot The Jealous Lover. God, I can't remember their names. Amy Furman, I don't know. But then there's the dude that bought the fucking Islanders that had no money, and he scammed everybody and claimed that he had like $400 million when he didn't. Like Long Island's a hotbed for fucking.
Are you talking about the like ice skater that got clubbed in?
No, that was Nancy Kerrigan and
okay.
And Tanya
Are you talking
Harding.
about the lady that cut the dude's wiener off?
No, that was shit. What was his name?
There's all like weird 90s scandals that are kind of fuzzy in my head, but
well, it's because the 90s was the beginning of the media blitz. We didn't have a 24-hour news cycle, and it started in the 90s. It was really the OJ. It was OJ running from the cops on TV is what really kind of started that dawn of news all the time, everywhere, nonstop.
Amy Fisher. Yeah. So who was
Amy
that?
Fisher. So Amy Fisher, Joey Buttafuoco. Joey Buttafuoco was this dude, and John Wayne Bobbitt. That was the dude that got his dick cut off. Amy Fisher was having an affair with Joey Buttafuoco, and then she went to his house to confront him with a gun and shot his wife, Mary Jo Buttafuoco. Very hazy. I was 12 years old or whatever.
This was like 90s news though. Because
Yes.
I don't think that would make the news now.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Fries of Manhattan Beach, that's the one. Oh, Derpa says, look at me. Look at me. I'm the Davenger now. Show off more slabs. Brady wants to see more slabs. Show off some slabs. I remember Camelot music. Oh, yeah, there you go. Camelot music wasn't big on the East Coast, but I know it. Oh, there you go. I have one of those. The same one. We bought one each from Jim.
98 Newsy, John Constantine.
Here's a one that I haven't shown off that's going to be available at Davenger Con. How about a Detective 94? 1944 in a 5.0.
Look at that. That art on that's just great.
I know. I almost don't want to sell it, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. We had a Virgin Records megastore in New Orleans. Yeah, that place is what got me into collecting vinyl on the second go around, early 2000s. I also saw Queens of the Stone Age do a show at the one in New York when they released Lullabies to Paralyze, and then they did a signing upstairs after they played the show. All right, so Amy Fisher and Joey Buttafuoco, there we go. Rodney King and OJ changed the way we live in the 90s, for sure. And it changed the way that, because we were seeing all that stuff live on TV happening. And, I still remember seeing the Rodney King beating and not really knowing what the hell was going on. And I, obviously know what it was all about. It was racist cops. But seeing that as a kid really affected me. And seeing a lot, our parents weren't used to that. Like the JFK assassination was something that everybody heard about on the radio. If that happened today, we would have seen it live. That's the craziest thing is we watched those planes go into the Twin Towers. I saw the second plane hit live. The first plane was, obviously caught on tape, but it's like we were seeing all this stuff happening as it happened. And it was a wild time to be at the beginning of that. Now, I just don't want to see the news. All right. I am acknowledging you that you subscribed and you're horned up for a Jar Jar Day sticker. Well, Vic, you're going to get the vibes. Other notable Virgin Comics creators, Nicolas Cage, Guy Ritchie, and Hugh Jackman. Shit, I guess I'm going to have to track some of this stuff down.
I want to read a Nick Cage comic.
Yeah, it's probably like reading cocaine. That was when he was here by himself and asked what he should do. Oh, Brady said that when you were by yourself.
Oh,
excellently. Tyler, I want you to use your powers. Use your powers. No, don't use your powers. Okay. Oh, it's double dip. See, you gotta let me know that, Vic. I don't know who you are. Vic Vibes was also lucky enough. Yeah, Amoeba. Well, Amoeba's a special thing. And I don't know, Joe, if you've ever been to an Amoeba Records.
I don't think I have. I don't know if we had that or not.
No. It's LA, San Fran, and Berkeley. 3 stores. The greatest record store in the country, bar none, that's ever existed. They moved the LA one to a smaller location, but it's still nice. But they do everything. It's records. It's heavy records, but it's CDs, DVDs. But they have original concert posters on the wall, and they have comics. I bought some comics at the LA one. It's just such a great place to go, and Californians are lucky that all 3 of them still exist. That's right. Record Store Day is this Saturday. I might have to hit you up, Johnny. Might have to have you get me something. Okay, now I know what's going on. Can I show that Detective Comics again? Yeah, let's show that off. How about this? Check it out. You ready? Here we go. We're adding it to the stream.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a nice one. This came from Steve when I bought all this stuff.
Bring it up. Can you do full screen on it? Can you
Sure. Let's do that. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Nope.
Well, that's me.
There we go. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful book. I also
94. Geez, sub 100.
How about this? Batman 36. It's from 1946. So these are both going to be available at Davenger Con. Whether they sell or not remains to be seen. But you know, I'm not. I can't hoard everything. I'll probably keep something, but I don't know what to keep. Nick Cage's son wrote a comic. Oh, okay. Rick Cage, good old Rick Cage.
Richard Cage.
That's the first dark tunnel Batman has ever entered. No, it's not the first. The first dark tunnel that Batman ever entered was Robin. I would never sell that. Well, you know. Derpa finally went to an Amoeba 2 years ago and loved it. Picked up then Year Zero. Ooh, a man after my own heart when it comes to music. 9 Inch Nails. Year Zero is the only 9 Inch Nails vinyl I still need. I have everything else on vinyl except Year Zero, and I'm an idiot because I could have had it when it first came out.
I like the remixed one a lot.
Really? You like Year Zero remix? It's good. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, you know, I even like his early Obnoxious remix albums.
Fixed.
Like, yeah.
And what's it? Further down the spiral.
Yeah, that one's obnoxious. Like it's just noise.
Yeah, you know what? I think my favorite like project album that he's done that's not actually a regular album is Still. Did you ever listen to Still? Which takes a lot of the Fragile stuff. It takes like 7 Fragile songs plus an earlier song, Something I Can Never Have, and basically just like strips it down to piano.
Oh, didn't you put that out later, like after the fact? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. That was a tough one to get too, right?
Yeah, because it was only available in the DVD, forget the name of the DVD, but it was available as a 2-pack. It's still one of my favorite 9 Inch Nails things. I would love for Trent to do like a stripped down tour, like just strip down some of these 9 Inch Nails songs to its bare bones, because he's a pianist, like he's a at heart and at the blueprint. I would just love, because his voice is great. Like he's got a great voice.
A small venue, I could see that. Like,
sure.
Yeah, I don't know if that could like carry an arena or anything.
No, but it could do a theater. Could definitely do theater tour.
Yeah, for sure.
Year Zero, that definitive edition was supposed to come out 5 years ago. I'm not holding my breath there, but you know, have you ever listened to the Watchmen, the score for the TV show?
No.
Oh, it's so fucking good. You got it.
Oh, wait, yes. Yeah. I did once after the show came out. I listened to it.
It's so good. It's good for reading comics too. Like I read a lot of comics while listening to Reznor and Atticus Ross scores. I find them to, like, if you're reading, especially if you're reading something moody, but even like I'll sit down and read Invincible and I'll put like Social Network score on or whatever, but it's they're great music to read to.
I really like the ghosts. Like I feel like that kind of scratches that itch for me. Like I never heard the Social Network score. I know he's done a couple other ones, but
the two of them are up to like probably 20 film scores already.
Yeah.
I
really like the Ghost series though. Like that's my jam.
Ghost is amazing. The ones that came out during the pandemic were really good too. I guess it'd be.
I forgot about those. Huh?
Yeah, and he released them for free too. I mean, everything he released on the Ghost was free, but Lamar said Rhino Records in LA in the 90s used to have incredible vinyl parking lot sales. That's pretty cool. Like Rhino Records, as in the label, they'd have sales in their parking lot. That's dope. LA's got some great record stores. I don't know if a lot of them are around anymore, but there was one that specialized in punk on Melrose in West Hollywood that I really liked. I can't remember the name of it. Nicolas Cage's son has a comic that he wrote with his dad called Voodoo Child. Weston Cage. Well, you'll learn something new every day. Yeah, Johnny Greenwood's scores are amazing. There Will Be Blood, obviously, is his standout, but I like his Phantom Thread scores pretty intense. Yeah, some of these guys in the bands that we grew up listening to are just become masters of film scores. Like Tom York's score for the remake of Suspiria was fantastic. But you reading anything lately? Anything you like that you want to talk about that you were reading?
I'm reading old school shit. I'm starting Savage Sword of Conan, the
Ooh,
magazines with issue
yeah.
one, and
Ooh,
I just got through the Barry Windsor Smith stuff,
so
hit the
good.
John Buscema stuff. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Do they
Uh,
reprint Red Nails in Savage Sword?
they do, yeah.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
yeah, great story. And the Frost Giant's daughter, I think they do that one twice.
Huh.
Because they did it for the first issue of Savage Tales, and then they reprint it for the first issue of Savage Sword. And then there's a version of that in Conan the Barbarian. And then
Uh-huh.
the Dark Horse series does it. And then the Ablaze comics do it. And the Ablaze version of that is like rated hard R. Like,
Really?
yeah, like it would be NC-17 if it were a movie.
That's cool.
Uh like it takes that story and it makes it like very very adult. And then yeah, that's kind of all I'm reading right now. I just got the McFarlane Spider-Man adjectiveless omnibus, so I think I'm
Yeah.
starting that next. But
And the ASM one that's yours is actually you can't see it, it's off screen, but it's on that
oh,
shelf right there.
yeah,
One
I can look, I can see around the
it's
box. There we go.
it's right there.
Nice, look, that's mine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I started reading. I never read Felipe Smith and the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider series, and I
Mm,
read the first 5 issues that Trad Moore did the art for.
yeah.
Man, that's I mean I haven't read every modern comic that's come out in the last 30 years, but for Marvel, it's one of the best Marvel 5 issue series stories I've ever read. Like Trad Moore can do nothing wrong. Like there's, I mean, like even say what you want about the story, and we've said it. We've talked about it in private. The story of Fall Sunrise. Like, and his art is on. It's on another planet.
Yeah. So one of my prized possessions is my Silver Surfer Black Treasury, and I mean when you get like, it's like I could sit and stare. I don't smoke weed anymore, but if I still did, like I would never put this book down because like it's
It's
just
so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
yeah, it's beyond beautiful, and it's like I don't know what his process is, but I'd be really curious to see how he goes about some of this stuff. You know, if he's doing it all from scratch, if he's doing it digitally and reproducing elements to get those recursive, things, or it's amazing.
Yeah.
However he's doing it, I hope he keeps doing it forever.
Well, if anybody knows him, tell him I would love to talk to him about comics and his art. Derpa just put a list of all the soundtracks that Trent and Atticus have done. Patriot
Oh,
Day, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which I absolutely love. Gone Girl, Mank, Soul, Bird Box. Soul was special. Soul and Mank are probably the two most unique movies that they've done. Bird Box, Watchmen, Vietnam War, which is Ken Burns' documentary, Before the Flood, which they do like 5 songs on, and Patriots Day. Oh, you read that. Mid 90s. Yeah. Man, his Trent's working marriage with David Fincher has been one of my favorite things about being a moviegoer in the last 20 years because now they've done, I think, one, two, three. They're going to be doing their 4th movie with him. Absolutely legendary. Uh, so yeah, Social Network, which won an Oscar, and then Dragon Tattoo and Mank, and now The Killer. I think it's The Killer, which is David Fincher's next movie based off a French comic that he's doing that comes out this year, and then Trent and Atticus are doing the score for that. Oh, Gone Girl. So it'll be 5. Did you ever see Gone Girl?
oh,
And that's the scariest relationship movie I've ever seen in my life.
I'm really behind on my movies.
Yeah, I know you're not a huge movie guy. You watching Mando? Are you current on Mando?
I made it through the first season, and I one one episode from the second season, I think.
What do you watch? Watch anything right now? No, there's nothing out.
There's nothing out right now, man. I watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia on repeat every night.
Fair enough.
Just
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Other than that, man, I really like Gendy Tartakovsky's Primal. It's an animated show. I've been watching.
I know that show. I've never watched it. It's on HBO, right?
Yeah, it's on HBO. Like I watch that over and over and over again. It's like I can just put it on in the background, and just kind of trip out on it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it, though. Man, I'm really behind.
Trying to think what I'm reading. I'm reading. I'm doing my final my reread through Invincible, and I just got to like issue 105, and I'm into a territory that I can't really remember what happened. So I'm like enjoying it just as much this time as I did the first time. I got to do a little reading this week for preparation of I got Jim Rugg coming on the con and Joe Benitez, and I want to go through Hulk Grand Design again and just kind of maybe post a couple of post-it notes in there to talk about certain pages with him and stuff. But man, did you get you didn't get the Treasury edition of Hulk Grand Design, did you?
Not yet. I think I'm gonna scoop it though, because I'm like any Treasury, I just kind of want to get. You know?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like it's just a beautifully designed book.
I've got my pre-order for the Doctor Strange Tradmore one, and then for the next Peach Momoko Demon Wars or Demon Days or whatever the sequel's called.
Okay, cool. Jen Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. I didn't realize that he did.
I've seen that. It's good. It's really good, and the episodes vary in length. Some are really short, some are really long. Most of them are with little to no dialogue. It's fucking amazing.
Cool. Yeah, I know Samurai Jack. So I know like his style of animation and all that. I have to get through Clone Wars. Yeah, I know. Jim Rugg just did the Youngblood homage. When does that come out? It doesn't come out this week, does it? The first issue of the last part of Red Room. But his homage covers on Red Room are like some of my favorite things. Some of my favorite comics to come out in the last, like 5-10 years are like his TMNT homage, his Spawn homage. Oh, they're great. What I'm gonna do for the interview is I'm gonna have all of his stuff on the shelves back here. So that'll be fun.
Yo, hey, I can barely talk. My tongue's about to fall off. I literally burnt a giant hole. I've already told you this, but
yeah.
Do not eat Sour Warhead Pop Rocks, man.
Kids, don't eat Sour Head War. Yeah, what he said.
But I got to save myself for Saturday. So
all right.
Thanks for having me on so much.
All right, brother. I'll see you this weekend.
All right, man. Cool. Looking forward to it.
Hey. All right. Well, Joe had to leave, but I will answer your question. Lamar said, I have a question for Joe and Dave. What book, new or old, are you looking to buy this year? What book am I currently hunting for? So Joe, I can't speak for Joe, but I know Joe there's certain books that Joe wants. He wants an AF-15. The book that I'm looking for, which I probably will buy this year because it's the big book that I still have on my target, and that's a copy of House of Secrets 92, the first appearance of Swamp Thing, and obviously created by Len Wein, but more so Bernie Wrightson. That's why I want it. I love Bernie Wrightson, and that book has slipped out of my hands once, and so the next time I have a chance to buy it, it will not slip out of my hands. No. It will not be like water in my hands. It'll be like a hot dog in my hands. I don't know, something solid. And I'm looking more towards picking up a piece of Bernie original art this year. My target artists to get original art from, and I'm talking about a published piece: Bernie, Todd, Stephen Platt. Those are the three. I just picked up another Ryan Otley Invincible page. Hasn't come yet, but that I'm excited about. And I sent that Marvel Spotlight 6-page to Heritage. It's going to be in their signature auction in June. Might do a live watch here on the channel. But yes, that's going to be big. Almost picked up the TMNT one in New York. Yeah, you gotta get that one. It's great, Andrew. Buy it. Do it now. Will you have an issue of Updog in your hands? Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Come on. You're giving me you're assuming that I'm not really reading this. Does anybody know what's up, dog? Ah! I do need hot dog fingers for that. Yes, that is true. That is true. Good old hot dog fingers. So yes. House of Secrets 92, definitely the target book for me this year. And then whatever else comes my way. There's a couple of Todd books that I still need. I need a Spider-Man Platinum #1. But that's like something that, like books like that, stuff that comes, 90s, 2000s, whatever, late 80s. I find that stuff in collections, but I haven't found a collection with a House of Secrets 92. Speaking of House of Secrets 92, I was, should I open a pack of Image Universe? I don't feel like it. That was a horrible segue. If you are a fan of my friend Spidey Hits and his channel on YouTube, this Tuesday, so 2 days from now, this is 1 year anniversary show, and that is the show that is hosted by both him and our friend the 99 Newsstand Manu. So it's their show. I shouldn't say it's Justin's channel, but it's their show. They have their 1 year anniversary this Tuesday. I'll be on. It's going to be a long show. There's going to be a lot of giveaways. I'm putting together a giveaway, so all you have to do is be in the chat, and so tune into that to see more of me and win some stuff. I am also going to be. Let me grab it. There we go. I'm also going to be ripping this box on his channel for the 1 year anniversary show, and that's a Jim Lee X-Men box. So I've been holding this for a couple weeks because I wanted to do this on his channel for the show. So that'll be a lot of fun too. My comic, yes, I had a great time talking to Alan, Comic Collector Geek. I got to be honest with you and everybody. It's a lot of work being in the driver's seat for your own show. You guys know I'm live twice a week normally, and I drop a new video every week. It's nice to like just sit and have somebody talk to you and ask you questions every once in a while. Plus, it gets stuff out of me that I normally wouldn't talk about or I wouldn't be engaged. It's hard to engage myself to tell things that I'm not. It's weird, but I had a really fun time. And he's got a fun channel. There was somebody that he interviewed a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember his name, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. Was it Black Comics? He was such an interesting person to hear. He is very knowledgeable. I love. There's this, there's so many YouTubers out there in the comic sphere, right? There's so many of us, and so many of us have stuff to say, and there's so many people that have nothing to say. There's an entire sect of people that just want to talk about hot books, and all that garbage, top 10 lists of the hottest books. Who gives a fuck? It's all made up anyway. But then there are some people that are super knowledgeable that you watch and you listen to them talk, and you're like, everything they're saying, you're learning something new. And I like that type of content. Obviously, I want to learn things that I don't know. That's why I watch Cartoonist Kayfabe every morning with my coffee and breakfast. I watch that show, and I'm always learning something new. Super, super awesome channel. If you've never watched Cartoonist Kayfabe, I know a couple of you in there are drink the Kool-Aid. Everybody should be drinking the Kool-Aid. You will change it will help you broaden your horizons on the things that you read, but it will change the way that you look at comics, and in a good way. Say no to FOMO, but it's not even FOMO. It's okay. Hot comics, right? They change every week according to whoever you watch or whatever app you look at. And fun fact, Vic Vibes, I talk about garbage and I have zero knowledge on most things. You have a good sense of humor. That's all that really you need in this world. So, you know, you're kind of beating most people. Uh, so during the pandemic, while the comic boom was, everything was exploding and we're all just kind of like waiting for the next thing to pop. Um, there's reasons for some books getting hot. Sure, the MCU, the DCU movies and TV. But the fact that people think that they should be talking about every week 10 books that keep it's just so it lacks so much substance. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Lamar. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? I love this. I love doing this. I love talking about comics. I love talking with people, engaging. If you're on YouTube and you are boring and you're talking about the comic book medium, you really need to rethink what you're doing. They're comic books. They are half literature and half art. And sometimes it really lacks the literature part. So it's 100% art. And God, imagine, I don't know. Well, thank you, Cal. Thank you for coming. Thank you to everybody that's ever watched this show, has ever joined me live, has ever liked, has ever bought a book, has ever engaged in conversation. Thank you. I really do truly mean it. This career path that I took, and this is what I do for a living, and I do not make money off a YouTube stream. I sell comics. It's the most rewarding thing I've ever done. It's the most. Black Key Comics. His interview was fantastic. He was just, everything he had to say, I was listening. And I was extremely informed by and Alan's great too because it's to have a conversation you can't just have one person that knows what they're talking about to make the conversation good. You have to have that dichotomy, that back and forth, and it was just a great conversation to watch it too. It lacks a point of view. I lack sometimes a point of view, but never really. My pay model. Step 1, create FOMO. Step 2, make it exclusive and put it out on FOMO list. Step 3, that is it. That is pretty much, the vibe that some of these shows, but it's just like, there are some people out there, like, I don't know the guy personally, and I don't dislike him. But Swaggle House, actually, he's a comic book person, but like his show focuses so much on market that like I will try and watch and I'll just be like, ugh. But then he does like when he goes to a Comic Con and he talks to people that are, at the Comic Con, whether they're working or whatever. That's interesting to me because I know he's interested in comics. So it's like there are some people that obviously found the thing that makes their YouTube channel work, where I'm still trying. Like the Alex Pardee video, I know it's on the longer side, but like it didn't pop. The one Ethan Destiny City, I know a lot of people really enjoyed it. Shit, I enjoyed it so much, but it didn't pop. But like I look at some of these market guys, and that's what pops because it gets like the masses to watch. And I'm not for the masses. This is not a comic book show for the masses. This is for people that love comics, that love comics. Period. But there are some YouTube channels that aren't like Swaggle House. I got nothing against the guy. I just market talk bores the shit out of me. But there are some people out there that are just like they have like all these people watching and they have nothing to say. Nothing. With that, Dave, we'd all be buying over. Hey, I could be a sleaze bag. Hey. Oh, yeah. You know who's the sleaze bag? His interview with Big B. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course, Big B. Yeah, Big B was the person who recommended Alan to talk to me, and he was interviewed by Alan, and Big B also very. Big B's not just knowledgeable about comics, but Big B's been around comics for a long time, like owned comic shops, and so he knows both sides of it as like the fan but I was there when it was, it was happening. So Big B is one of those people, like another interesting interview, and an interesting guy, and you should follow his YouTube channel. He's putting out a lot of shorts. Big B, you've taught me something, that shorts really do engage the viewers. I gotta sometimes take my long form ideas of videos and make them short form. So I'll House pitches comics the same way some weirdo would pitch crypto, and it's super off-putting. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like when he actually talks about comics that he's passionate about, you can see it, but that's not his. That's not what he's selling on his channel. It just leaks out every once in a while. But Kayfabe truly is the best comic book channel. But it just I'm always trying to think of new ideas for shows, and I'm always trying to create something in my narrative. Obviously, like I inject a sense of humor, all the random shit that I do, but I try to put stuff out there that I'm interested in talking about, that other people would be interested in listening to. And after the con is over, I'm gonna try a couple of new videos, but my plan is to do another real deep dive into my McFarlane collection, because if and a lot of you I know have were not there when I first started the channel, obviously, because when you're starting, you got to build it up little by little. But I did a deep dive into my McFarlane collection. At that time was only I only did like some of the Marvel DC stuff. Now I've got like so much more stuff that I never really talked about on the channel. So I'm gonna do maybe a two-parter on McFarlane. It's just got to keep the McFarlane sense alive on this channel, because eventually we're gonna have Todd on the channel once I message him. The market-driven videos also lend themselves to clickbait titles and the promise of secret inside knowledge. It's a different lane for sure. Yeah, and it never like if you don't know comics, there's no inside knowledge. It's like you could talk about AF-15 and Hulk 181 all day, but you don't talk about House of Secrets 92, which, believe it or not, that book has not like that book is impervious, absolutely impervious to any type of decline in comic selling or the market or whatever. That book has maintained its perfect pricing since the comic explosion all the way through the comic decline. Daryl, what's up? Read Your Comics in the house. Speaking of Read Your Comics, let's say it one more time. This month's book club, April 30th on SunDAVE Sitdown, is going to be God Country by Donny Cates. I almost called him Tyler Bates, and Tyler Bates is a composer. Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw, and it is a one-and-done story. It is a fantastic book, and so pick it up, read it, and we'll talk about it on April 30th on SunDAVE Sitdown. A McFarlane deep dive would be awesome. Tyler, if you never went back and watched my original one, it's a very early video. It's like probably like within my first 10 videos. It was in my old apartment when I used to use my apartment voice because I couldn't be as loud as I wanted to. I was just trying to be courteous. I'm wanting to do something to help grow the community and share the content that we as creators personally enjoy. I mean, look, I'm all for it. I love the idea of it. I like talking about comics. What can I say? I really excited for next weekend, but book club, man, book club's like my favorite time to really talk about comics, because it's usually with a couple people. And I'd be interested in having more people on. Angel is going to be, as long as his schedule with his family and his work life permits. Angel will probably be a mainstay at all the book clubs because I had asked him if he wanted to. Well, look, I've said it many times, and I'll say it all these times, every time. I buy collections from people. Always different prices, right? But I look at it this way. For example, one of the collections I bought last week, I bought for $700. I sold 3 books and I broke even. That means at this point, because my overhead is my house, so I pay my rent, pay my bills, all that shit. Now I'm at the point where, like, okay, let's say it's $100 book and I want to sell it for $60. Okay, done. Who cares? I'm not going to lose any money. You're going to save money. You're going to want to buy more from me. And now I've got you in my cult. And you will drink the Kool-Aid. And you will worship Sultan. And now I have you. But I want to buy books. I want to sell books. And I want people to buy books from me as if I was buying books from getting a good deal. So that's about as transparent as I can be with that. Well, thank you, Tyler. Almost through kayfabe. Oh, the Brian Bolland interview was amazing. The Eastman. So kayfabe did a series, and it's going to conclude, I think, next week with Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, where they go through each issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the two of them together. And like, holy shit, that's legendary. I cannot wait to talk to Jim Rugg about some of this stuff and like what they've done on that channel for comics history. Like years down the road, it's going to be looked at as like this is it. This is the definitive record. Until I talk to Todd. When I talk to Todd, we'll have the definitive record because then I'll get him to come back on and on and on. Some overhead sounds great on a Sunday. Drink the Dave Kool-Aid, Sultan. So yes. So yes, Sunday, I would very much appreciate it if everybody would spread the word, like maybe Thursday or Friday about Davenger Con. And, if you're not going to buy a book, maybe buy a raffle ticket. It is going 100% will go to the charities. I'm just going to be taking the total and splitting it in half and going to the charity, each of the charities. And if you're not, if you don't want any of the merch, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But the raffle ticket would be great if you're not going to buy any. Those are like director's commentary. It's great stuff. I would love to get Todd to do a breakdown of, each of his ASM issues, but I think I would lean towards the Torment series. I feel like that's his best work is those first 5 issues of Spider-Man, plus maybe actually that run of Spider-Man, the adjectiveless one, but yeah. Either way, I would love to get him to do a breakdown. Tyler, you do such a great job, and I appreciate you. The Jim Rugg interview. Can you name the video? Getting rugged with Jim Rugg. How about cutting a rug with Jim Rugg? Can you please sell some New Mutants 98 during the Avenger Crockpot? I sold. I don't think I have any copies left. I sold 7 copies of that book within the last probably like 8 months. 3 or 4 graded, and then like 3 ungraded. I only have a 9.8 newsstand for my PC. But if I get one beforehand, I'll let you know. There's a hood phrase: the money that you make on an item is made when you settle on a purchase price for said item. Getting a good price is it's a huge part. 100%. Pull the rug. We'll call it pull the rug. Trust me, Cal, I have that list. It's like 8 names on there that I made at the end of last year of people I want to get on the channel, and I think Sankiewicz is like 2 or 3 on there, but he's on there. 100% I want to talk to him. 100%. I've watched a lot of interviews with Sankiewicz. And one of the things that I always thought, and he kind of confirms it, he talks about a lot. He's a pop culture savvy dude, and he always has been. And it reflects in a lot of the stuff that he posts on his Instagram and whatnot, and on his socials, is that he's a big consumer of pop culture, movies, music, all that. And I listened to him talk about David Lynch a lot, and obviously he did the Dune comic. But when I think about Sankiewicz's work, I kind of put it in the same vein I would a Kubrick or a David Lynch project. Is that it's like there's so much abstractness in what he does, There's so much left into interpretation for the consumer, for the viewer, the reader. That and it's one of the things that I really want to talk to him about is his influence. Um, the influence of film and music on his work, and I don't mean it just as the subject that he's illustrating, but the way that he illustrates, and it's something that I really want to talk to him about. Pull the rug with Jim Rugg. Out of everything you've watched on Todd, I feel like it is very seldom talked about, and I wonder if it's like maybe he doesn't talk about it a lot because he probably spent 5 to 10 years doing interviews on it after Spider-Man 1 broke all those records at that time. But maybe people just don't want to talk about it because they were stupid. I don't know, but I want to talk to him about it. Yes, he seems like a very chill guy, and that's the thing. Like, I don't, I haven't interviewed too many people, and everybody that's been on my channel, I have a personal relationship with, whether it was, Alex or Joe Benitez or John Wayshak or Matt Ritchie, all these people, Dave and Skinner, all these people I knew, but I haven't yet to talk to somebody that I do not know. So, kind of breaking the ice with Jim, with Rugg, and um, if that goes well, the future is bright, or maybe not. The future is unwritten. Thank you, Judge Drummer. You could have a segment where he insults you and your viewers, rug birds. You know, shit. I need to write that down. Outside of launching it, I would agree. Outside of launching it, oh, you mean the book? Sankiewicz interview called "Down with the Sankness." Oh, sank. Bill Sankiewicz, Sankiewicz. Bill Sankiewicz, Sankiewicz. They touched on the launch and the record breaking, but they never asked about the writing and everything else with it. Yeah, there's so much in Todd's artwork. Like, there's so many Easter eggs, but it's just like the energy. You know, um, Kayfabe just recently talked to Liefeld again, and they did a walkthrough of New Mutants '98 and a walkthrough of, a read through of '87. And they're, say what you want. I don't subscribe. I don't give a shit that he can't draw feet and that he draws cuffs. Rob Liefeld draws with an energy that is almost unparalleled. Like, you look at his early stuff, all the way through like the last couple of Youngblood issues that he did, and there's just an energy about it. The man's not a technical genius, but his energy is unparalleled. And then I had to stop listening to Observations for a while because he is a slight touch of a narcissist, and so I can't listen to too many people talk about themselves over and over and over. Like, I don't like talking about myself that much. I like talking about everything else, and then I'll talk about myself a little bit. But I still love Rob's energy. Art Adams, Jim Lee, Barry Windsor Smith, John Byrne interviewed them. First of all, nobody's going to interview Barry Windsor Smith. That man's done like 3 interviews in his existence. Art Adams, I'd love to. Jim Lee, I'd really love to interview because I do like his positivity. He's a super positive guy. Byrne, I don't know if I could do it. I feel like I'm not adept to interview a guy like John Byrne. I'm more adept to interview a guy like talk to Jim Lee or Rob Liefeld or Rob Liefeld or Eric Larson or Mark Silvestri or Todd, or I really would love to get Ryan Otley on the channel, Trad Moore. People whose artwork really speaks to me. I love Art Adams. I don't know if the man's a super positive guy, but I've never met him. John Byrne, definitely not. Has he ever talked about Felix? Yeah, he's talked about Felix, but I think there should be more people talk to him about Felix. His Hulk run, yeah, there you go. His Hulk run's got. What's funny about the Hulk run? It's Peter David writing, so it's it could go either way, but the printing of those books sucked. Like, some of the worst printing I've ever seen. Like, I've read through Hulk 340 a couple of times, and that interior is normally printed like shit, like almost unreadable. He draws like he talks. Are we talking about Art Adams? Or are we talking about Rob Liefeld? Yes, he does draw like he talks. Byrne doesn't do many interviews these days. He did the yeah, and he did the sci-fi one where they went to his, I think it was his house and his studio. Sam Keith does, yeah, that getting a Sam Keith interview might be about as easy as getting a Barry Windsor Smith interview. You know who I would love to talk to? Obviously, I'd love to talk to Neil Gaiman. I'd love to talk to Charles Vess. Um, Kaluta would be nice to talk to. Stephen, I reached out to Stephen Platt at what I think was his email address, but I never got a response. And I reached out to Becky Cloonan, who I love as an artist, but I didn't get a response. But that's not going to be the last time I reach out to her. Adams would be tough. Yeah, those Marvel shitty printing and those. Yeah, there are just some books that, like some of the X-Men Jim Lee books, Uncanny X-Men, they're almost unreadable in their printed form. Like truly just like the plates, the colors would bleed, the ink just looked. I've looked, obviously I look through a lot of books on a daily basis and not always reading, but I'm always, I got to do my checks. I got to make sure that what I'm selling is a complete book and it's not all fucked up or there's nothing, the centerfold's not detached. And those late 80s, early 90s newsprint books that like all of the things that we love in the Copper Age, the Uncanny X-Men, the ASM, Avengers and Fantastic Four, the stuff that was printed to the moon that was super successful, your Uncanny X-Men Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri runs, your Hulk McFarlane, your Hulk ASM, your McFarlane ASM and Hulk. I think they printed so much of them because it was, they were selling 500,000 or 1,000,000 copies that like the quality control was garbage on them. Absolutely garbage. And they were using the cheapest printers, and the cheapest paper and the cheapest ink. So it really does reflect that. So when you find one of those, like I've read the McFarlane Ground Zero Hulk trade paperback, looks amazing. It's clear. And even though the story is not always that clear, the artwork's clear and it reads so much better. Those original first print trade paperbacks that they would do when these guys started fucking selling 500,000, 1,000,000 copies, and they're like, oh, we need to collect these and get these out on shelves. That's like some of the best format to read that late Copper, early modern stuff. I have to watch that. I'll have to watch that and see what Art Adams is. I only watched Art Adams draw at a con once. I didn't really get to talk to him. I hate going through all Marvel books. Yeah, the ink transfer mess. Yeah. Platt has an IG, but the problem is Derpa with IG is that like I can send them a message, but unless they check their requests, they won't read those messages. Like same thing happened. I check my requests when I, like because every once in a while I'll get a message from somebody I don't follow, and because I can't follow. I don't follow everybody. So imagine that on a level where like 20 people might be messaging you a day, and then your requests just build up, and you probably don't read them. Bryce is in the house. Done messed up. My homie. Good to see you, brother. Byrne. I mean, I think Byrne is underrated by people that might be a little bit younger, but I never had the appreciation for John Byrne when I was younger, even though I knew who he was and I had a lot of his books because I was reading, She-Hulk. I was reading some of the Fantastic Four. Now I have an appreciation for him that it's the same way that kind of like I didn't have an appreciation for Kirby when I was a kid. And then about 10, 15 years ago, I was looking at something that Kirby did. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? I have this conversation a lot with Dave Correa. We grew up around this. We're almost the same age, and we loved the same things as kids, and we loved kind of the same things as adults. And it was the same. We had the same kind of progression of like not being into certain artists when you're a kid, and then like as you get older, you find this appreciation for them that you're like, oh, what was I thinking? I didn't even know who Bernie Wrightson was when I was a kid. And I think it was my buddy Larry that turned me on to Wrightson when he showed me the Frankenstein book, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" And then I started realizing who Wrightson was and how I kind of knew, without knowing his name, I knew his artwork and the characters that he was a part of. when I was younger. David Mack has been really. Yes, Mack is a super, super, super sweet dude. Um, I and I've talked about it before. I don't really talk about it a lot because it's but without getting too deep into it. There's just a lot of actual trauma involved in this. But I worked for a nonprofit called the CBLDF for like 3.5 months in early 2019. I actually moved from Seattle to Portland to work for them. And fuck it, I'll talk about it. I don't care. Um, I was not reading too much at the time. I still had a lot of comics. I still was very into comics, but I wasn't really collecting at the time. And I got this job for them. And on paper, this job was perfect. It was comic book industry. It was my nonprofit background, and it was literally being the guy that talks to all the artists. Like I was there, you know. So the CBLDF, they would the way they would raise money for the most part uh, is sell signed books in their store, signed comics, signed trade paperbacks. So I was going to be the person that interfaced with all of the artists and writers to get all these book plates signed. So would go to a con and I would walk around the con and be like, "Hey, I'm Dave from CBLDF. Do you mind signing some book plates?" So I got to talk to Kevin Eastman via email and Garth Ennis, and I talked to Rob Liefeld. Like I would go to Rob Liefeld at his table at Emerald City, and I would be like, "Hey, Rob, CBLDF," and he would stop what he was doing and start talking to me and sign a bunch of book plates. But my interactions with David Mack were so positive, like because he was a Portland dude. And he was at every con, nicest guy to talk to. And the same thing goes for Alex Maleev. I actually met Maleev and I walked up to his table and I introduced myself, gave him my card, and was talking to him for a couple minutes. And he's like, "Hey, do you mind if you watch my table for like 20 minutes?" He had to go to the bathroom. So I'm like looking through his original artwork and everything. So uh, interacting with these, like, there was nobody that left a sour taste in my mouth. Like, everybody was super sweet. Claremont was super sweet. Um, Ryan Otley. I don't think I met Kirkman. Trying to think who else. Hickman. It was just like all these guys, and David Mack was one of those guys that really stood out. As just a sweet, sweet dude. I can't say the same for Arthur Sidem. I didn't meet him in that context. I met him at New York Comic Con, probably like 2013, and the guy was the opposite of nice. But that's awesome. Yeah, Mac's one of those dudes, super talented. He's been a mainstay. Obviously working with Bendis on so much stuff, and his work on Daredevil, and then his creation was Kabuki. I know he just did some Spawn covers, and Todd did an interview with him. That's really cool. Yeah, it's fun when you go to conventions and you're the local and you get into conversations with people about where they should go to eat. Um, yeah, I've done that several times in all the cities I've lived in. Yeah, I gotta say, Arthur Sidem is one of the few comic book personalities and few comic book people that I've had bad experiences with. Like I had a bad experience with Jill Thompson once, and then the second time I met her, she was a complete opposite. So like everybody's got their bad days. But I met Sidem 2 days in a row, and he was a dick. Oh, don't start with me, Bryce. He's a very nice guy, and I would love to have him on the channel. I would encourage you to be brave and interview people that are considered legends. One of my friends has been able to interview Neil Adams and many others. He was nervous at first. I'm not nervous. It's just it's here's the thing, and I this is kind of my mindset on it. I want to really talk to people that I'm interested in talking to, and not that I wouldn't be interested in talking to Neil Adams, but for me, it's I don't want to think of it as as an interview as much as more of a conversation. You know, I told Jim Rugg ahead of schedule, like just some of the things I wanted to talk about: comic stores, kayfabe, his work, and wrestling. Those are 4 things that really interest me, and 4 things that I know really interest him. So, I would love to talk to some of the legends. I'd love to talk to Claremont, but I'd rather talk to Stephen Platt. I'd rather talk to Joe Madureira. Just people that I'm really interested in talking to, because there are so many interviews out there. Like I would never be able to. I know I shouldn't say it this way, but I would never be able to top talking to Brian Bolland the way that Ed and Jim talk to Brian Bolland. I would love to talk to Brian Bolland just about Killing Joke, but they already did that. They put it on the record. I want to have conversations with people about collecting, about their inspirations. I'm really interested in inspirations, about how people like what attracts them to a good story or creating a piece of art. But I'm not saying I don't want to talk to legends. I'm just looking at it from my viewpoint. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, Derpa. And I think this was at the height of Arthur Sidham's like notoriety. It was after, right after Marvel Zombies had come out, um, and it is what it is. No big deal. Eric Larson's so nice, super nice. Allred would be fun to talk to. Yeah, I love Mike Allred's art. I actually just flipped through his Superman Madman three-parter that he did because I bought that collection a couple weeks ago. That had a ton of Allred stuff. Um, and I've read some of Ecstatics and Excellent, so I really enjoy his work. Mike Allred's one of those people. His art and Laura, who is his wife, and also like their team. Uh, Laura Laura does colors. His art is one of those things, very much like Alex's art. Alex Pardee, his colors do something to my brain. His artwork and her colors, I should say, it's so pleasant to look at. It's so upliftingly pleasant to look at it. And he is kind of a one man, the two of them, they are a team onto themselves. Their art is kind of unmatched. Um, yeah, so I would love to talk to him. I would love to talk to everybody involved in Image, even Jim Valentino. Even though I was never a big Shadowhawk fan, he's a very interesting guy. Liefeld, I feel like I'd have to have to just drink a whole bunch of coffee to get on there with Liefeld. Yeah, I've heard people say he's a little grumpy, and I think that's the thing. Like you catch people on an off day in general, and that's what it is. Uh, Lamar said to me, John Buscema's Hulk is so underrated. People say it was simple, but sometimes simple is great. Hey, I think Jeff Smith, creator of Bone, I think his artwork can be looked at as simple, and it's definitely not. Um, so yeah, simple is never bad. It I don't think that John Burns artwork. Okay, at times John Burns artwork is amazing in it, but like as a kid, and even sometimes today, like I look at it, I'm like, it's very much simple, but I think that's why it's so good. Like I don't. I look at here we go for the contrast between Burns' Fantastic Four and then Walt Simonson's Fantastic Four. I think Walt Simonson's Fantastic Four has this crazy energy and it's beautiful. And then I look at Burns and it's so good, but I feel like it's simple. I don't know. I hope that's not gonna piss too many people off. Um, Absolutely loving the Spider-Man omnibus by Michelini and Larson. I didn't realize they omnibused it. Um, yeah, Larson's Spider-Man. I almost said Larson's Spider-Man, man. Larson's Spider-Man, comma man, is so fucking good. Like Todd is Todd, but then Larson brings a completely different energy to that book. His two, his two stories, the Revenge and the Return of Sinister Six, unbelievable. They don't. The story is kind of all over the place, but the artwork is amazing. Yeah, look, I mean, there's like a double. It's a double thing with comics for me. I I, I try not to. No, all right, no, whatever. It's a two thing. It's a twofold thing for me. The nostalgia part of it is amazing, but the nostalgia part of it at this point is so small that the me wanting to read more and more stories and different things has gotten so much larger, and I encourage everybody to obviously read the stuff that you always loved. Like the things that bring you the most joy are going to be the things from your childhood. But then go and read something new, like Fables. If you've never read Fables, go read Fables. It's such a brilliant story. Or go read Why the Last Man, because the art in it's fantastic too. Or read Sandman. And Sandman's got, 35, 40 different artists that worked on that book. It's the most brilliant comic ever made. If you've never read Invincible, go and read that. Like, find the new things to get nostalgic about, because like 20 years from now, maybe if you read Invincible now, and 20 years from now, you're gonna go back and that's gonna be nostalgic to you. I love a good simple comic also, Brady. So yeah, not everything has to be complicated, but that's what Marvel's for. There's so much good simple stuff in Marvel. Yeah, I would like to talk to Walt. Walt seems like a really nice, personable person. Uh, yes, Burns' artwork is highly consistent. You look at his early X-Men stuff through like his late X-Men stuff, or his Fantastic Four, or even like his pre, like even his fanzine stuff is impressive. Byrne, once he got his style, it locked on, and it was consistent. I can tell you, Bryce, that Jay Scott's very nice, and I met him a long time ago, a couple of times. Very nice guy. Just a. I mean, his art kind of reflects the nice guy uh, with titties. A lot of cases, Byrne was about the quantity, yes, and the quality suffered, but hit some strides in FF and UXM. Yeah, yeah. Even like I never dug at Next Men, but some of it looked really good. I don't think that paper. Byrne's artwork lends itself very well to the newsprint format. I like reading new stuff and hearing narration podcasts for older stuff. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. New stuff is so sparse for me, and it's just I can't find anything that I lock onto. Every once in a while I do. Like last year I went through all the Donny Cates stuff. I started with the cosmic stuff and then went through all of Venom and King of Black and Maximum Carnage, and I absolutely love that. Donny Cates was the closest thing that Marvel has had to a horror writer in years. Just like I said before, I read the new it's like 15 years old, 10 years old, but Felipe Smith and Trad Moore's Ghost Rider. I've been thinking about some other. I tried reading through Hickman's Avengers stuff, and I couldn't. It was just like I didn't fucking understand what was going on because I wasn't reading the other books. But I'd be happy to read like 1 to 2 new like runs of something every year. Yes, inkers do make a big difference. Byrne's best inker was Dan Green. It's funny because wasn't Green also inking Silvestri on Uncanny X-Men? I mean, it's the same thing. When Todd inks Todd, it's his best work. Bob Wyacek probably does the best justice to Todd's work. Just like Capullo's artwork's amazing, and I think Capullo being inked by either Mickey or McFarlane just elevates him. But yeah, inkers make a huge thing. I don't think I'd really like have much interesting stuff to say with Lee Aloha, even though like I know who he is and the the Howard the Duck and some of his other stuff, but I just I'm definitely not anywhere near a point where I want to talk to people that I don't have interest in talking to. Just because I for as much as I enjoy this content and bringing content, if I'm not interested in it, it's going to show. It's going to totally show. Trying to go back and collect a bunch of I read Wolverine was the longest ongoing comic I ever read up until probably Invincible and Fables. And man, once Silvestri gets into that book, like that was my prime childhood. And some of those stories were, but it was Larry Hama, I think, writing a lot of that stuff. But goddamn, Silvestri his artwork was, up there. The way that he would draw a torn up Wolverine and what was the android, the little girl android, and then there was Albert. Like nobody, I mean, like people talk about like battle damage of Jim Lee and the battle damage of McFarlane. I think Silvestri does better than both of them, and that's a lot. That's saying a lot. Invincible's kind of a simple comic. The issues are quick read. Nothing's overcomplicated. It's legendary storytelling. The art's Otley is my favorite guy in the last 15 years. But yeah, there's nothing like super complicated. Emotionally, it is. I think emotionally is where the complications run because you are definitely feeling like the way that he's feeling, his emotions is how you're feeling in a lot of times. So I think that's where it is. Uh, all right, so there you go. You got a couple of different opinions. Alpha Flight, legendary John Byrne run. The whiteout issue is hilarious because that was him probably not making deadlines. And then Burns Man, like people talk about his Superman run, the Man of Steel stuff. People love that. I need to read that because I have fucking like 12 sets of it, but I've never read it. You pulled a Kurt Busiek and Peter David autograph creators corner cards. Oh yeah, I saw that. Congratulations on that. Nice, nice. Busiek and I think Busiek. I would put that just a bit above in my personal interest in their writing, but those are two great writers and two great autographs. So I reached out to Mark Miller, and I reached out to him on Twitter, and he actually replied like within 20 minutes. He basically said he's like his free time is all going to his podcast now, where he interviews his contemporaries and his heroes and his friends. Which, if you check out Miller Time on YouTube, and he said basically once he's done interviewing all his heroes, he'll go back to being interviewed. And I was like, okay, I can wait. He replied, he's one of my all-time favorite comic writers. So, and I love Scottish people and the country. So talking to Mark Miller it's up there for me. Albert comes to, yeah, the Android Wolverine. Tinian interview would be sick. I want to read more of his stuff before I do, but yeah, I'd like to talk to him because really enjoy his writing. Cates, I'd like to talk to Cates. I'd like to talk to Brian K. Vaughan. I do want to talk to a lot of writers. LCD, thank you, Bigby. If a comic has art, like you will become uninterested very quickly. To you, art is a huge factor. Yes, for the most part, I will agree personally with that statement. But in the case of like for example, Department of Truth, I like the art. It's very Sienkiewicz-y. It is times a little distracting how abstract the art is, but the story's so goddamn good. I want to keep reading it. But yes, if I really don't like the art, I will put the comic down. 100%. Steve did supposedly ink part of the World's End story arc in the Sandman series. I didn't realize that. I didn't know that. I haven't done a reread of Sandman in a couple of years. It's probably been about 8 or 9. But once I do, I've read it 4 times or three or 4 times. But I'd love to talk to some of the. I mean, Neil Gaiman is a god tier interview for me. It would be up there with McFarlane. He's my favorite writer of all time, of anything. Books, books or comic books. It doesn't matter. Neil Gaiman is my guy. But I feel like I need to get a couple more interviews under my belt before I go after that. I'd love to talk to Ron Lim. Ron Lim, one of those guys that you never hear about. Everybody has some vested interest in Ron Lim, whether it was you were a Silver Surfer fan, you were an Infinity Gauntlet fan. Like Ron Lim has been there if you're a 90s kid, especially. But I met him once. Super nice guy. Very, very personable. So somebody else I'd love to talk to. Yes, Department of Truth is incredible. The House of Secrets homage version variant is artwork. I don't think I've seen it. You should, let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Department of Truth, House of Secrets. See if I can find this image. Oh, yeah. Okay. I have seen this. If I could, there's no good picture of it. If I could get a good, I would post it on the stream. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. Like, it's very rare that I'm not into the art of a book and I read it. That's right, Professor. Invite Todd, interview Todd. IT. Or see Todd, ask Todd, STAT. That's like one of the Star Wars vehicles they didn't use. Busiek lives in, oh, that's cool. Come to my store and sign autographs, JLA, Avengers for all. That's really cool. Yeah, Busiek's been around so long. That dude is like a mainstay in the comics industry. Yeah, a lot of Portland creators, a lot of you know guys in that area, Bendis and Mac and Fraction and Kelly Sue. Chip Zdarsky, somebody I'd love to interview. He seems like a totally get along with his ridiculous sense of humor. Um, couldn't I'm trying to think of other like not underground but indie people I would love to have. And look, and I'm not against interviewing people I don't have on my list, but it's just about me wanting to enjoy it as much as them. So yes, Chip is somebody that I really need to talk to, but I need to once again I need to catch up on my reading of his, and I really need to read the new Batman run that he's on. Oh God, yeah, that would be a malfunction, or would it? Hey yo, yeah, I want him on my channel. I don't want him to like get on the channel and then click off of it. But yeah, for anybody that's in the room that didn't see, I'll probably close out the stream soon. But let's go over the exclusive stuff that is available at Davenger Con, starting with the two different shirts. Both, oh God, this reverse camera bullshit really kills me. Reverse two colorways. They'll be made to order. So you can always message me this week at $25. I'll have them shipped to you. And these canvas shirts, super comfortable. I believe they're 100% cotton. Cotton. Whatever. So there we go. Let's show off the sticker pack again. You've got so it's going to be 5 stickers. I am keeping one of them a surprise. There is the Comic Tim sticker. I'm Comic Tim. There is the Surfer Galactus sticker, holographic foil. There's the Street Fighter prismatic sticker. It's the Street Fighter colors. And then there's the See Todd, Buy Todd sticker. These are the short box stickers. There's going to be 5. One is a surprise. $10 for the pack. I put all the packs together already. No matter what you purchase at Davenger Con, you're going to get one of these. And then if you purchase something, you're going to get one of the badges as well, a lanyard. And then these are going to be $8. These are the first ever Davengers enamel pins. All that stuff was designed by Joe. And Joe was on earlier until he couldn't talk anymore. So, all right. Busiek must have an amazing collection. Everything he wrote. Yeah. He probably does have an amazing collection. Can never interview comics I like because I would just geek out uncontrollably, especially Todd. I would just sit there and smile and say, well, and I don't know how I'm going to react if I interview him, but I played this interview scenario in my mind plenty of times, so I think I'd be prepared with a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, Lamar, there definitely will be, because I have a box that has some stuff in there. So yes, I don't know what you're talking about. So I've met Neil. I've met Neil before through Amanda Palmer. Yes, I used to hang out at a coffee shop in New Orleans that Amanda would frequent and come in and hang out. He's very pleasant. I've met him a couple of times. It was years ago, but very, very nice. It's funny. Amanda Palmer was in Tacoma last night, but I believe they got a divorce. Outside of Tipitina's right before a concert for Justin Dawson, nearly had a heart attack. That's really funny. That's really cool. I think I could do up to XXX or XX on these, Cal. The XL that I'm wearing kind of runs a little bit bigger on me, so I think they're a little bit looser. They're really soft also. What's up, Sean? Sean's in the house. I vaguely remember the Chris Farley Paul McCartney interview, but I do remember the Farley thing I remember the most, besides his movies, was the Chippendales thing with Patrick Swayze. Sean, did you see the new shirts? They're finally in. They're good. They're nice, and they're going to be $25 made to order. So I didn't buy a whole inventory of them, But you guys can hit me up in the DMs on Instagram to pre-order a shirt. That way, if you want to get them for the con, they might be there in time. I'm gonna start selling the stickers and the pins though. We'll do that at the con. Farley was a fucking legend. Yes, he was. One of those people that I looked up to, sense of humor wise, because he was just so goddamn funny. And if you haven't watched the video with me and Alex Pardee opening up the 2 boxes of Garbage Pail Kids that I dropped Saturday, please do. And I will be on the Spidey Hits channel on Tuesday to celebrate Justin and Manu's 1-year anniversary of that beautiful show and that beautiful friendship. And the fact that they've not only asked me to come on, but I've been on multiple times by their choice. They let the animal out of his cage onto that show. But guys, I think what we're gonna do right now, before I close it out, why don't I show you a video? I tried something. I'm kind of happy with it, but it's about a 3.5-minute video. It features me and another special guest, and I'm just gonna show it tonight. You guys let me know if you think this is worked out. Well, it requires a little bit of a suspension of disbelief. But let's throw that video in, then we'll say goodnight. But let's see, where is it? Oh yeah, here we go. Just a 3.5-minute video.
West Coast Avengers, and this is whoa, yeah, man. I'm coming, team.
Right. Okay.
All right. So, look. You guys know me. I'm the guy that says see Todd, buy Todd. I love comics. I read comics. I sell comics. I buy collections.
Yeah,
I talk
man.
passionately about comics.
I got
this
that
guy.
new Spider-Boy, man. Hot book.
All right.
Man.
So
All
this
right.
guy over here, he's always kind of like the faithful viewer. You guys know he just hijacks videos. Somehow has my YouTube password and he wreaks havoc, and I have to, run damage control. I know.
And look, man. We are separate entities, much like Adam Warlock and Magnus, the magneted one. Now, look, man, I'm no Rob Liefeld or Timothy Lee. I am no sharper image, man. But I know that I think we
care
could
about
be
Miss Terry.
friends, man. No.
I don't care about Bronze Age Bodhisattva, and I sure as hell don't care about Very Fine Collectible Guy. You're always talking about Miss Terry running off with those people. I know you're sad, but dude, you gotta... I don't want to touch you. You're slimy. You gotta
Bronze Age
get
Bodhisattva and my good friend, well, I guess he's my former friend, Very Fine Collectible Guy. But I think they ran off together, man. So I'm just living in your house in the garage, man. I'm coming to you. Yeah, man. Look, man, I'm going to make money off my Miss Terry boxes. Now, every Miss Terry box is going to have some Spider-Boy spec, the newest spec. I remember Toastin', he was in the Catman's book, but this is Spider-Boy. He's a boy, he's a spider. I'm counting, damn.
In this comic sphere, there's plenty of room for everybody. Carnival salesman.
Whoa, yeah, no, man. No,
All of you out there,
man, no. Not cool.
you make the choice. He sticks around. All right, finally get him deported.
Listen, man, I love you, man, and I think that we could be a force for good inside the spectator market. You know, man, like top 10 books of the week and the top 10 books that I made up and acetate, man. So, look, man, I know you're big into that Davenger Con.
All right,
thing,
well,
but
thank you for
I'm
taking this
counting
time to
tea,
listen
and
to the
I'm
two
just
of
saying,
us talk
it's terrible.
about individuality. Don't forget, I'll see you at Davenger Con, folks. Where goes Davenger?
All right. Well, maybe I'll do a commentary track on Wakanda sometimes. It's like 2-hour and 40-minute movie. Yeah, well, look, I'm trying to get this guy his own identity because everybody thinks we're the same person, but clearly I am not Comic Tim. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. I really had a good time tonight. Thanks to Joe for stopping by. I'm sorry you burnt a hole in your tongue, but you are You did it to yourself. And I appreciate all of you guys that stuck around and watched. You know, I got to say, we rode 20 strong, sometimes 25, people in the room tonight. Like, I really look up to Justin and Spidey Hits and Manu and their show. Like, I would love to have that type of vibe where we've got 65 people in this room, and I do a giveaway or something. But yeah, Tim escaped Arkham. He finally did. The Spec Potato Market and Toastin. I don't know who this Toastin is, but he sounds like a cereal. Invest your money in Yukon Golden Russet Potatoes. Comic Tim definitely lives in Portland. Yes. But I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. 6 days time, 11 a.m. next Saturday, Pacific time. So that's 1 o'clock for the East Coasters, and you do the conversion rate in between. Sunday, 11 a.m. We'll close out next week with SunDAVE Sit Down. It'll be a short one. I'll be doing the raffle drawing on SunDAVE Sit Down Live. And basically what I'll do is I'll sell the tickets. I'll write your name on the tickets and put them in a bowl and pick them out. If you buy 10 tickets and you win 10 prizes, it's very possible. So there is no limit to winning. But thank you, Big B. Thank you to everybody who joined in tonight. I had a great time. And I'll see you guys this weekend. Look at this guest list. Look at this guest list. Look at the people that are going to be selling. Eastbay's going to be here. He's closing out Saturday night and opening up with JD on Sunday morning. Maddie is closing out Sunday night with me. Bronze Age Batcave will be here. Manu, hopefully Spidey, Prince of Cheese, Grit City Rust, Super Ugly, Destiny City Comics, Joe, Scar System, JD, and the Nerds Pub. It's going to be great. There's going to be so many goddamn books. You guys are going to have fun. I'm going to lose my mind, and we're going to have a great time. So I'll close it out how I brought you in with the sweet sounds of Done Messed Up. And I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next weekend.
You ready?
SunDAVE Sit Down.
Yeah, it's time for SunDAVE to sit down.
SunDAVE